Transfiguration Youth Spotlight. Featuring Cory St, son of Sister Faye Delancey, grandson of the late evangelist Rudell Brissett and brother Gladstone Brissett. Bachelor's degree in biochemistry and molecular biology, Trent University. Master's of Applied Science in Biotechnology Management, McGill University. Director of Policy and Government Relations, Natural Sciences and Engineering Research Council of Canada, Government of Canada.
Good day, Transfiguration. It's always a joy and a privilege to connect with my Transfiguration family and just to share some aspects of my journey. My name's Cory St. I'm a son of the soil, and I'm also currently the Director of Policy and Government Relations at the Natural Sciences and Engineering Research Council of Canada. And this is the Government of Canada's agency that's responsible for investing more than $1 billion annually in scientific research in Canada. In this role, I have the honor of managing the agency's relations with the Office of the Minister of Innovation, Science and Industry, but also in developing strategic partnerships with other federal government departments and also foreign governments around the world. But I think more importantly, I'm a husband, I'm a father, a son, a brother, a nephew, an uncle, and a cousin. And I think while it's important for us to celebrate our professional accomplishments, it's also important to recognize the community that got you there and the responsibility that you have to uplift that community. Certainly this journey of getting to this point in my life was not easy. There were certainly lots of sacrifices, lots of late nights, lots of prayers, and as my mom would say, a healthy dose of but God moments. But I think through all of this journey, I learned a couple key ingredients. I think I learned the importance of knowing your purpose, never setting limits on your God-given potential, and trusting God to be in control of every step along this purpose-driven pathway. You know, as I was growing up, I had the honor of being raised by some pretty strong women who helped to cultivate within me a very clear sense of purpose. I have a mother who sacrificed the world for her children, who taught us about the importance of faith and discipline and resiliency and a strong commitment to excellence. A no-nonsense grandmother who taught us the power of the word and who unselfishly invested in that next generation and really taught us the importance of trusting God even when you can't even trace him. And I had aunts who molded and mentored us, you know, exposing us to the world and teaching us the importance that once a mind is shaped by a new imagination, that it can never return to its original dimension. And I think collectively what they did was they ensured that no matter what circumstances surrounded me, that I was made in the image and likeness of God, and that I could do all things through Christ that strengthens me. And I think with that strong sense of purpose, I'm also continuously learning the power of never setting limits on my God-given potential. You know, when I first came to Canada, I was convinced that I was going to be a medical doctor. And when it was time to apply, I was told by some of the top schools in the country that I didn't make the cut. And I think this was an incredibly difficult moment for me and disappointing. And to be honest, I felt like a failure. But I think what I wasn't realizing at the time was that this was an opportunity for me to build my relationship with Jesus, really get clarity on just how big God's dreams were for me. And so when I started to let go and let God, I started to realize how big those dreams were. And I saw doors of opportunity open that I never could have imagined. So fast forward a couple of years, one of those universities that rejected my application invited me to be a speaker at the 50th anniversary celebration for their Institute of Medical Sciences. And today I've helped to shape Canada's scientific and health research landscape. So instead of me helping just a couple of patients, I now have the opportunity to shape the entire healthcare system within the country, something I could have never have imagined. And again, moving along, I guess, this pathway, I had to constantly hold fast to some well-known passages. You know, at times when I started to feel anxious and weary, I had to remember to lift up my eyes to the hills from whence cometh my help. That when I started to feel fearful, right, I had to remember trust in the Lord with all my heart and lean not onto my own understanding, and that in everything that I do, acknowledge God and he'll direct my path. But what I also learned during this journey was that this pathway was not simply about my success, but about recognizing that I stood on the shoulders of giants who paved the way for me and my experiences. But this was also about broadening my shoulders that I could propel others to go even higher. So in closing, I encourage you to know your purpose, never set limits on your God-given potential, and as you travel along life's pathway, trust God for your every step, and never forget that those character-building experiences are there to strengthen you to empower others. God bless.